me personally, I'm not fucking something that I'm genetically made to fear. I don't know. That'd be like a wolf clap. That'd be like a deer clapping a wolf. I don't know.
Heated with them. It's not a bad theory. I mean, some of these guys do look a little freaky. Me personally, I don't find them that scary. But one of the main problems I have with this is, if we were so freaked out by these guys, why the hell do I have Neanderthal DNA? I mean, my ancestors...
My boy, hey. Hi there, been a minute, and by a minute I mean 5 days exactly. Hi. As you can see, we're reacting to something today by the title and thumbnail probably. To those who don't care, skip ahead. To those who do, I'm gonna give it like a little 30-second explanation of what's been going on. So one, we've been doing shit behind the scenes. You'll see it eventually. When that eventually comes, but it's coming, it's happening, to say the least. You'll be surprised. Maybe you will. Who knows? With some funny, it's funny to tell it, to say the least. For the most part, anyway. Then we got and then this. Think of this as like a Spooky Scary Saturday-esque. I didn't really think of this as like a Spooky Scary Saturday, but it's spooky enough, so didn't really want to like keep like doing it the same way Corey did, especially now the fact that he's back, and I mainly did it because like, hell, fuck it. If he's gonna be gone for a while, so I might as well take it, all that jazz, and yeah. And yeah, that's basically the announcement. This is why do we fear the Uncanny Valley by Remaestro, if I remember that name correctly. Sorry, the name is Remeister. My apology. The thing will be in the description anyway, like the OG vid. And yeah, pretty sure that's all I had to say for right now. Video is coming back, and with that, let's get into it, baby. Y'all, let go. Rewind this shit.
Take a look at this image. How does it make you feel? Spooked? Frightened? Bewildered, maybe? This is the uncanny... Okay, you...
Yeah, I was about to say, more like somebody is very bad at CGI.
You all probably know what the Uncanny Valley is. But if you don't, it's a psychological theory that explains the discomfort people feel towards something that looks almost human, but not quite. As shown in this graph, as something becomes more human-like in appearance, people respond more positively to it, until a certain point where we find it disturbing. This dip or valley in affinity is called the Uncanny Valley. Take for example dolls. At the midpoint of the graph, we might have something like this. You can tell that it's not human, it's cartoony, and doesn't have super realistic features, but then we have something like this. Now me personally, I find this a little creepy. I don't know what it is, but...
Okay, I don't find it, like, creepy, per se. Like, depending on, like, if you have a genuine fear of dolls, you will find it creepy. It's definitely more creepy than the other version, I'll say that at least. I can definitely see this walking up to me in the nighttime, asking for my soul. I don't know. I don't know. I just see it as like a rich 2-year-old's first gift.
But there's something in those eyes, man. I don't like it. Now it does vary depending on the person. Obviously, these toys sell, so not everyone finds these creepy.
Fair point.
But there is a reason dolls are a big part of the horror genre. In this video,
on an unrelated note, let's just say, let's just get this out of the way right now. I haven't watched Annabelle, so I can't say whether or not like Annabelle is a threat. I'm pretty sure she is. She's a haunted doll, popular as shit. Slappy is the Slappy would knock the shit out of Annabelle and Chucky. First of all, I would knock the shit out of Annabelle and Chucky, and I'm a skinny bitch. Slappy some indeed. If y'all ain't watched the Goosebumps movies, bro, Slappy got both of them. If Annabelle is a demon, damn, R.L. Stein probably wrote a book about an angel werewolf or some shit that'll beat Annabelle's ass. Slappy got it.
I'm not going to be focusing on what the Uncanny Valley is, as I kind of just did that, and plenty of others have already covered it. Instead, I'll be exploring the different theories that try to explain why we fear the Uncanny Valley. What in our evolutionary past or psychology gives us this fear of things that look almost human? Will we uncover the answer? Well, you'll have to stick around to find out as we dive into the mystery of the Uncanny Valley.
Where's the intruder?
I was about to make a whole. Okay, on a real note, though, seeing that, even though I was in like a public space, seeing that woman like peering around the corner, it's like, let me take you to your room. I'm leaving. I'm running away. I can't beat that. I don't know what it is. I'm not fighting that. Nick, that was just a monkey!
Fair warning, this video will contain imagery that people may find disturbing, so leave now if you don't like that. You know what? Actually, let me get this out of the way. Boo! Okay, that was the scariest one. Not that bad, right?
Sir, you will be paying. Wait. If I got scared, can I sue them now? That's how America works, right? He caused like a little jump to my heart, and now I can like sue him for like $100 million, right? I'm foreign. That's how that works, right? I'll check it with my lawyers.
Right? Anyway, now onto the theories. The theory of mate selection suggests that uncanny features make us feel uneasy because our brains are wired to avoid potential mates who show signs of low fertility, poor health, or weak immune systems. I can see how this could make sense. People have a natural reaction to others they would or wouldn't like to badoingle with. More attractive people are received more positively in our minds, and less attractive people, not so much. I mean, look at modeling, movies, TV, even politics. A lot of it is cultural, sure, but our brains are...
The fact that, well, it was like Bill Clinton, right? That's the guy who... Wasn't one of the reasons, like, they... How did a lizard get inside? I'm gonna... Sorry, I turn and I see a lizard just chilling on my windowsill. How'd you get here? My window's closed. Whatever. He'll come out the same way he got in. Regardless. The fact that Bill Clinton, one of the things that was said about him was like, oh, him and his wife are like really fucking pretty. I'm not 54, so maybe I don't see it, but
are wired to favor more.
On a second note, nobody, I don't think, like, I get it, like, maybe the Uncanny Valley could add to that, like, the whole mating selection thing could add to the Uncanny Valley. Last time I checked, I've never been, like, terrified of an ugly person that was just not trying to kill me. That's a Mito.
Attractive people. Though, I don't really agree with this theory. For one, we can find people of a group we aren't attracted to unattractive or frightening. Like, we can see straight dudes bullying other straight dudes for being unattractive. Or I guess in the case of the Uncanny Valley, a straight girl can find Momo scary. And for another, I mean, come on. You really think people are scared of these things because they don't want to do the devil's tango with them?
And even then, you think people don't want to fuck Momo? Maybe I'm a heathen. I am. But brother, you weren't back in the day. You weren't there in 2018, 2019 when people were talking about Momo. Brother, people were fiends for that thing. What? And this is why I say to like everybody, like, I'm aromantic questioning. I don't know what I don't know if I want a partner or not. All I know is I'm currently all right with the idea of dying alone. But I'm telling you right now, there is a person for everybody. If there are people that want to bang Momo, there are people that want to fuck the cars from Cars. My nigga, there's if you think you're ugly, there is somebody with a specific kink, a specific uh a specific fetish that somehow fits you. Will it be harder for you to find that person? Yes, but they do exist. And if you're like a normal person who just like you're not a fucking 10 BBL bandit, brother, you're fine. Especially if you're a woman. Dear Christ, if you're a woman, you'll find a partner easy.
Speaking of the devil, many creatures from folklore and religious texts fall into the uncanny valley. Creatures like the Nephilim and the devil from the Christian Bible, the Golem in Jewish folklore, or the Wendigo from Algonquin cultures. All of these are human-like creatures with something unsettlingly off. The Nephilim and Golems, for instance, are giants, larger-than-life versions of human beings. The devil has the form of a man but with animalistic features, and the Wendigo, as described by Basil H. Johnston, has skeletal, emaciated features as if it were a hollow shell of a person. A common theme in these creatures is the idea of soullessness or a broken soul, the idea that they are human-like beings but distinctly lack the sort of thing that would make them truly alive or human. Kind of like how I feel when someone says Mosasaurus or pterodactyl's a dinosaur, which they are not.
I do not care. It is at the end it's a dinosaur. Screw you. Listen. If somebody, bro, if I told somebody my favorite dinosaur was a pterodactyl, and they said, "Oh no, it's actually not a dinosaur. It's a pterosaur." I'm call me Megami because I'm summoning a pterodactyl so you can finish that argument with him. You ain't finishing it with me.
But soullessness is also something we associate with robots or dolls, human-like but completely artificial entities. This theory, I like to call the religious theory, suggests that our fear of the uncanny comes from a deep-rooted fear of the soulless, demons, fallen angels, golems, beings that resemble us but lack what truly makes us human. Personally though, just like the last theory, I'm not totally convinced. It's not that I dismiss the theory because it's religious. Rather, I find it hard to believe that we fear something simply because it lacks a soul. After all, there's a lot more concrete evidence backing up other theories. Still, it's an interesting perspective to consider as we explore other theories that may be a little more convincing.
Hey, thank you, my boy. Why is Diddy there?
The predator theory suggests that there used to be human-like creatures that preyed on humans in the past. Similar to the religious theory, a lot of people...
This theory, I believe. This theory, I believe. Now, as a person who was raised in a Christian household, Nephilim's sure. Why? I don't know personally. If they were real, then maybe. But no. But then every human. I'm not poking holes in that theory yet. I can't be bothered. This though. This I believe. Because if there were things, there is a reason why all of us like fear something like that. There had to have been something back in the day that was actively hunting people. Hell, maybe a lot of the human skulls we find back in the day, maybe because they looked so much like humans, their build was like humans. And so the bones we found aren't actually humans, but they're something else. I don't know.
people associate things like giants, demons, mythological creatures, and cryptids. This is different from the mimic theory, though, which I'll get into later, as that these are just creatures that look like humans and are not intentionally trying to mimic humans. The only evidence people really have to back up this theory, though, is saying something like, "Oh, well, so many cultures across the world have stories about humanoid creatures. They gotta be real."
My Wi-Fi is not this bad. Stop it.
I hate that opinion.
We have stories about humanoid creatures today. A bunch of them. Take the rake, for example. There are people who believe this creature exists despite obvious proof of it originating on the internet, on 4chan, or Slenderman. 2 girls stabbed their friend over this guy. If you believe this theory, I don't blame you.
That is crazy, though. That is crazy, though. The fact that two girls stabbed their friend over Slenderman. Like, bro, you need to. I'm not. It's people like this who are like, oh, watching this will like corrupt the youth, or playing this will corrupt the youth. Dog, if that's all it takes to corrupt somebody, maybe they were done for from the get-go. Maybe, because as far as I'm concerned, nobody else is having this problem other than them. Maybe it's just them. You ever think about that one?
Spread a lot across TikTok and Instagram, which, if you've seen my other videos,
Bro, my Wi-Fi is not this bad. What's going on?
It's kind of a theme. Now, I will say, there is actual evidence of humanoid creatures existing with our ancestors. They're called Neanderthals and other hominids. Now, this is another theory people throw around, the other hominid theory, as I like to call it. The theory that we developed a fear of ancient hominid species because they look like us, but just a little
okay, well, that's doing some shit.
With them.
Well, that's doing some shit. Ironically enough, I don't think that works either, because last time I checked, doesn't like every human have some level of Neanderthal DNA in them? Isn't that fact? Like, we all, like, at some point in the past, it could have, like, high key, it could have been because, like, humans, like, back in the day, like, let's be honest here, they were getting fucking slaughtered, buddy. Shrucked up, buddy. So that could have been the reason, but I don't know if, me personally, I'm not fucking something that I'm genetically made to fear. I don't know. That'd be like a wolf clap. That'd be like a deer clapping a wolf. I don't know.
Heated with them. It's not a bad theory. I mean, some of these guys do look a little freaky. Me personally, I don't find them that scary. But one of the main problems I have with this is, if we were so freaked out by these guys, why the hell do I have Neanderthal DNA? I mean, my ancestors...
My boy, hey, see, intelligence think alike. And fucking April calls me dumb. Bullshit. But no, crazy. That is, like, again, a deer is not fucking a wolf. Let's be honest here.
Bred with these guys. Plus, some of these things that are part of the Uncanny Valley do not look like some of these hominids. The disease theory suggests that our fear of human-like objects and creatures might come from a prehistoric instinct to avoid corpses and sick people. And it makes sense when you think about it. Robots and dolls that look almost human often have stiff, unnatural movements and lifeless expressions, kind of like someone who's sick or dead. The theory is that our brains still pick up on these signals as a warning, just like it did for our ancestors, even though now we're dealing with robots, dolls, weird CGI, and sick people. I think this theory does make sense for a lot of cases. Take this for example, a prop of a severed head used for the show Dexter. Yes, it's fake, it's not real. Please, don't block my video again. It gives off some uncanny vibes, and it is supposed to be a recreation of a dead person, so it fits this theory. Honestly, a lot of Uncanny Valley images apply to this theory. For some examples, Momo, with the shrink-wrapped, skull-like face and bulging eyes. This drawing by Sinister Scribbles, again, a shrink-wrapped, skull-like face with bulging eyes. That old YouTube video called My Dead Great-Grandma's Coffin in My Own Backyard, where that dude kisses a literal corpse. I'm not going to get more into that. If you know, you know.
I was not around for YouTube when that shit popped off. Oh no. However, with the other two, not the dead grandma, dear heavens, no. With those two characters, I know at least 5 people that would consider doing it with those two. 5 people who I think would consider it. 2 who I know would. That's all I'm gonna say.
And even the police sketch of the Baton Rouge serial killer almost looks like a pale, dead body. It's even got the dark lips and exaggerated eye sockets, so mystery solved, right? Well, I'm not entirely convinced. I know I said this for every other theory,
though I don't really agree with this theory. Personally, though, I'm not totally convinced. I hate that opinion. Why the hell do I have Neanderthal DNA?
but I do definitely think this is the strongest theory so far. But there are a few examples that I can't quite fit into this theory. Specifically, CGI and deepfakes. Take a look at this image. Or this one. Some may say they're just a little weird, nothing too bad. Others may say they're scary. Personally, I don't mind them too much. I used to watch the Polar Express every Christmas as a kid, so maybe I'm just used to it. But I think we can all agree there's something off about them. But it's not because they look diseased or dead like the last theory. They just look off. So what could explain this?
Get into the big shit now. I thought you were gonna jump scare me, you
phallusis, or more simply known as the doppelganger. A fictional creature concept created by user Ohio Pingu69, what a name, on r/speculative evolution. The doppelganger is a mammalian creature that evolved a particular fancy for human flesh, and relies on it solely as its food source. Evolving in Africa alongside humans, the doppelganger gained adaptations to help it hunt.
Why Africa? There's so many other continents, bro. Why? Go to America with all of the other demon creatures in there, bro. Fuck. I'm not I don't live in Africa, so this doesn't fucking like bother me. But still, damn. Well, go after some important people. Jeez.
Humans in the dark.
Not to say Africans or Africa isn't important. I'm talking about like the important people that are like ruining the world and shit. Shit like fucking go over to America, eat some politicians or some shit, bro. You'll have meat for days, I promise.
A lanky body with long limbs that both helped it climb and reach speeds up to 50 kilometers per hour. Cushioned feet that absorb sound, and of course, a face that mimics that of a human. But would you be fooled by this? Probably not, right? I mean, it's got no eyebrows, it's completely pale, the eyes are a little far apart, it overall doesn't look too much like a human. But that's the point. This creature uses the confusion that the uncanny Valley generates to bewilder its prey before attacking. Now, of course this thing isn't real, but it's a good introduction to this theory as it distinguishes itself from the predator theory. This creature evolved adaptations to look like humans because it hunted humans. Things like Neanderthals and other hominids look like humans because we have a common ancestor. Or if we go the religious route, things like giants and folk creatures, for the most part, don't look like humans to trick them, they just look like humans because that's how they were created. That is what distinguishes the predator theory from the mimic theory. Now the first idea in this theory is that in our very distant past, as in when we were little rodent things or even earlier, there was something that adapted to look similar to us in order to trick us into trusting it and prey on us. Similar to the doppelganger mentioned before, but way further in the past, and we've just retained that fear. The second idea is that something in our recent past has given us this fear, aka something that is purposely, with thought, imitating humans. Obviously, the main idea of this theory is something supernatural, like a shape-shifting cryptid, or alien, or something like that. But it could also have relation to the other hominid and disease theory. It could be that these other hominids, or maybe even other humans, wore the skin of humans in order to intimidate us or other tribes, and it has been ingrained in us to fear this imitation. There isn't much evidence.
Okay, but first of all, she threw a neck of doom. But secondly, how many times does that have to happen though? How many times does it have to happen? Like during like for like it to be like ingrained into the human species. Not to mention the fact that that would imply that humans were going to war, like tribes were going to war with each other a lot. Like a lot to where it needed to be ingrained, like a physical fear response to become a part of the human psyche. I don't know about that one, cause then not to mention you fighting off damn tigers, bears, all types of shit that's most likely killing you off way faster than other humans, cause they're dealing with the same problem. They don't have time to fight. I don't know about that one, cause
Evidence backing up this theory. There's no evidence of non-hominid creatures mimicking humans, nor is there any evidence of the supernatural doing this. I mean, there's videos online, but most of that shit's fake, so not much of evidence. Now, if you've seen my other videos, you probably know that I like to debunk stuff. The Philadelphia experiment, Delois ape, and the theories of the body girl are all things I've tried to go through and find the truth for. With this, you'd think I'd do the same. I mean, it sounds kind of absurd when you look into it. Humans wearing other human skin, a supernatural shape-shifting creature, I mean, come on. But one night, I was really thinking to myself why I feared the Uncanny Valley. I was looking at this image specifically when I really tried to think about it, and I realized this doesn't make me uncomfortable because it looks like a dead person or soulless, or because I don't want to badoingle it, but because it looks like it's trying to mimic a human. And that is what makes me uncomfortable. And yet, I'm still not convinced. I know, I'm sorry. So you know what? Enough of my opinions. Let's look at what the science has to say about it.
actually outro. What?
Okay, so I recorded and edited that last part before even writing this part. Little did I know I would not find much of anything that I haven't already said. I did find that the science for the Uncanny Valley is quite debated. In fact, the very existence of the Uncanny Valley, separate from other fears, is pretty debated. The most accepted theories by scientists seem to be the disease theory, and to my surprise, the mate selection theory. There are a lot of other theories out there. If you want to do more research, I've got some links in the description. But according to most sources I've found, it's most likely the disease theory. But there really is no solid consensus on why we have this fear, which is why I made a video on it, and why it fascinates me so much. It's something we really don't have a good grasp of. And it's something creepy that we don't have a good grasp of. So it really, it just really gets me interested. But which theory do you believe in? Let me know in the comments. I know I kind of ragged on a couple of them, but if you believe in one of those, you do you, man. I get the perspective coming from all these theories. Some of these things look in between human and animal, physically unappealing, soulless, predatory, disease, mimicking humans, whatever. Me personally, I'm gonna go with the disease theory. I know, it's the one the scientists agree on, blah blah blah. But I also really like the human likeness theory. I think that one, it's very basic, but it makes sense to me. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a comment letting me know why. Or even just say fuck you, I don't care. Before I go though, I want to apologize for my giant gap in between videos, probably my biggest one yet.
Hey man, I've been same shit here. We ain't uploaded in 5 days. That's crazy. We had reason though. But yeah, this channel is actually kind of nice though. This fucker just popped up into my feed one day. I'm gonna subscribe to him. I'm gonna milk you, boy. What? Respectfully though. Respectfully milk you though. But yeah, that's gonna be this. My theory. I'm gonna go with the predator theory. I'm gonna go with that. Cause in my head, there's really no reason. Cause I like disease, I guess, but like what disease is there to like make your body look like that? And it's very easy to tell what a corpse is. Like that's the thing. When we see a corpse, right? Like I don't know about this, but like people who like who are in like a medical field, I would imagine when they see like a regular dead body, they don't get like afraid because it looks uncanny. They get afraid because it's a dead person. Somebody. Well, can I say die? I'm not monetized. I could say that, right? They get scared because somebody died here. Or like something around them. Or like, oh, it's a fresh corpse. That means that whatever murked this person is still around. Or is most likely not far. Let me get the hell up out of here. So and with like diseases, like what disease causes you, especially like maybe it was back then, like what disease causes you to like look like that? Like yeah, you're gonna be sick, maybe your skin's turning green, but you are most definitely dying. What? I don't know. I go with the hunter theory. Because maybe there had to have been something back in the day fucking with humans. Like, oh, what? Like, oh, how come it's not here anymore? I'll let you, like, oh, how come it's not here anymore? Let me remind you, humans killed the woolly mammoth. They put more than a few creatures up for extinction. You think that if there was a creature that, like, hell, maybe that's why humans evolved to get the Uncanny Valley effect. They couldn't tell the difference. And with the Uncanny Valley effect, they could tell the difference. And that allowed them to murk all the things that were trying to fuck with them. Like they were trying to mimic them. But we still have that software though. Like humans still have that software. So I don't know. I'm going with the hunter theory. But yeah, that's gonna be the video. Hope you all enjoyed. Please tell me I'm still recording. I am. Yay. And with that, I'll catch y'all later. We are doing some new shit. We coming back. All right, cool. I'll catch y'all later. Bye bye.